Good afternoon, everyone. This is Wayne Bennett with ECRM, and I'm very excited to have with me today Stefanie Kruse, who is the VP of Digital Innovation and Commerce at Walgreens. Obviously, the COVID situation has really made e-commerce jump up very quickly. But even before that, we know that Walgreens was on point looking to change up a lot of their e-commerce activity and business. So today we're going to talk with Stefanie, who leads up a lot of that initiative. But Stefanie, before we get into that, tell me a little bit about your role and what you're responsible for at Walgreens.
Great. Thanks so much for having me today. So as you mentioned, I lead digital commerce at Walgreens. So that includes overseeing the e-commerce P&L for our retail business. So, everything that we, our customers buy online and then ship to home or ship to store. But it also includes initiatives that span digital and physical, and really thinking about how we bring those two worlds together. So my team partners really closely with the merchants to think through how do we bring together programs in store, online, and really make those come to life digitally for our customers online, and then vice versa. How do we augment our physical experience in store with digital tools?
Mm-hmm. Very good. That's quite a bit of work you do there. And with all that said, tell us a little bit about your newest e-commerce initiatives. There's a lot going on. I don't want to steal your thunder, but for instance, there's Postmates, there's telehealth, there's Find Care Now. There's a lot going on. So kind of give us a shape, a framework of what the priorities and what you guys have been able to accomplish in really a very short period of time.
Yeah, it's actually been really incredible how much we've been able to accomplish just over the past month and a half since this pandemic onset. So on the retail side of the house, we realized very quickly that we would need to be able to meet customers on their own terms and offer them safer, easier ways to shop with us. And we rolled out several new digital solutions to help meet that. So, first and foremost, we had already been working with Postmates in New York for about 6 months. And we, in early March, had already had plans to actually extend that partnership into a larger partnership working across 14 markets with Postmates. We actually, a week after we announced that, decided that we needed to expand that partnership nationally. So, we went into those 14 markets, and then a couple weeks later partnered with Postmates to actually get Postmates live across over 7,000 stores in our chain so that we could truly have a national presence with them. And that really allows our customers to have new ways to shop with us. Postmates is doing contactless delivery, and so it's very safe for our customers and really allows them to get things in much more convenient, seamless ways. And it's a curated assortment, so it makes the shopping experience really easy as well. We also rolled out a buy online, pick up and drive-through solution as well over the past month. So we have the advantage of having, over 7,300 drive-through locations. It's one of our largest assets at Walgreens, and really differentiates us from several other retailers. So we, quickly realized that we could leverage our drive-through to be able to allow customers to shop with us without having to get out of their car or interact with someone physically. So initially, we made it available for customers to just drive up and tell the individual, the pharmacy tech usually working at the drive-thru, what they wanted. We then rolled out a digital solution behind that over the course of roughly 2.5, 3 weeks, and then piloted that in the store, got some learnings, and then actually rolled it out nationally. So we are now live across all of our drive-through locations with a order ahead and pick up through drive-through at Walgreens. We've also been supporting our digital sales through expanded fulfillment capabilities online as well. So we've nearly tripled the capacity of our e-commerce distribution capabilities, which is allowing us to meet significantly higher demand online. And then we also have several initiatives on the health side of the house. So we've had a really amazing digital asset called Find Care that has seen significant traction and growth over the past year or so. And we've doubled the number of telehealth providers that we have within that. We've added a COVID assessment tool that's powered by Microsoft. We've also given customers the ability to find COVID clinical trials within that Find Care tool. And then we continue to have pharmacy chat and free 1 to 2 day pharmacy delivery to your home. And then finally, we also are taking our CSR initiatives digital as well. So Red Nose Day is now a totally digital event.
Right.
So you can unlock your Red Nose digitally, and we do have Zoom backgrounds as well. So.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that on social media, your president Richard Ashworth recently posted a thing with red noses dropping down. I thought that was really pretty cool. So Stefanie, that's a lot going on at Walgreens, and what I find to be really of most interest here is how have you guys been able to move so quickly? I think there's a little bit of a figure out there that maybe says that Walgreens doesn't move so quickly, but in this case, you guys have really moved very quickly in your e-commerce initiatives. How has that been able to happen?
We have, I think it's impressive for any retailer, much less a retailer of our size. But I'd say it comes down to a couple of things. One is really, really clear priorities among our entire team. And by team, I mean not just my team, but all of our cross-functional teams and our leadership as well, with a really clear, deliberate focus on our customer and patient. Also, much more, agile ways of working. We're working very differently through this pandemic and are continuing those ways of working as well to, again, be really clear and focused on priorities, working in agile ways, getting things out there, getting learnings quickly, and then pivoting with improvements. The empowerment from our senior leaders as well kind of goes back to those two things as well. But our senior leaders have been very clear on priorities. They've really been supportive of these new ways of working and have really empowered us too. And I think the last thing is we've definitely scaled our digital bandwidth to be able to meet all of the needs as well.
So the success, the rapid success that you've had, how would you say it's really changed the culture, or how is the culture enabled to change so quickly?
I'd say that our culture has always been one of being a very mission-driven organization with a lot of focus on the customer and patient. And through this pandemic, that has been a very clear driving force for us as an organization, is that sense of responsibility that is ingrained in our culture to our customer and patient as what has been the driving force behind that kind of, we have to do the right thing for our customers and patients through that. So I'd say that kind of cultural, sense of responsibility that we have to our patient.
Yeah. Well, the transformation on the e-commerce side has been formative and noticeable. So congratulations to you and the team on that. Getting back to some more of the operational side, what can you tell us a little bit about the promotional programs you're running on the platform, on the Walgreens.com site?
Yep. So we are an omnichannel retailer. So we support all of the promotions that we run in store. So we've rolled out enhanced senior hours with an enhanced senior discount, and we're obviously supporting that online. We're supporting all of our circular promotions as well digitally, as we've always done. And I think, now more than ever, we feel very strongly that we need to continue to offer value to our customers, yes. Particularly as a lot of them are financially burdened. So we are being very intentional about, maintaining that promotional cadence and supporting across all channels. And a proof point of that is that, paperless coupon growth has hit record levels during this time as our digital engagement has grown. So we're continuing to support all those promotions. We still have integration with our loyalty program, Balance Rewards Online, and continuing to support that. And then we do run digital exclusive promotions as well, to be able to offer our customers additional value digitally, which, during this time, there are a lot of customers who are new shopping digitally. And so that's been a good way for us to reinforce our value with them.
That's great. Stephanie, so obviously, given the pandemic situation, there's a huge demand for essentials, product essentials. And we know, we've seen the data in support of those categories that are really trending up within essentials. But beyond that, what are you seeing on Walgreens.com, even prior to COVID, or are there some emerging trends going on from product categories that you're seeing starting to emerge as maybe things get back to normal, if things are normal, but, post-surge?
Yeah. So we, of course, we're seeing the spike in essentials that everyone is seeing.
Right.
But what's interesting is that, or maybe not so interesting, is somewhat expected, is that, consumers really are starting to buy products digitally that they formerly perhaps would have gone into store for. So as they're coming online to get some of those essentials for us, they're also grabbing consumable products that, traditionally you may have bought in store. And we're seeing more behavior around preventatives as well. So think, vitamins and those sort of things that customers are getting ahead of from a health standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so there are existing suppliers, big partners, but also emerging suppliers that are interested in learning more about how they can enhance the collaboration with you and your e-commerce platform. What kind of recommendations do you give to some of those smaller suppliers, emerging suppliers? How do they approach Walgreens? What's important to you? How can they engage with you? Maybe you can share for the audience a little bit about how that cohort of suppliers can get closer to you in the e-commerce world.
Yeah, I think the first thing is we want to make sure that we have the basics right. So, think about your digital shelf the same way that you think about your shelf in store. And if it doesn't show up right to the customer and you don't have product on that shelf, then we can't sell it. And so really, the most basic thing is we need to ensure that we get the product set up online and that we've got all of the right content and images and attributes so that your products show up to customers when they search for them online. Mm-hmm. So that is really important. Is I don't want to de-emphasize it because it's really, really key, is making sure that your digital shelf has the right capabilities behind it. So getting that content and everything in the right place. Mm-hmm. I'd say that's really the biggest thing is making sure that you invest in those right capabilities behind it so that you can show up right on the digital retailer shelf. I think also, during this time, there are a lot of customers who are new to shopping online. So that, reinforces that even more, is making sure that your product is showing up strong for them as they're shopping digitally and kind of getting their toes in the waters digitally. And be willing to experiment with us and test the waters with us on some of these new programs. So with things like Postmates, for example, we're really working to generate awareness across the market. So be willing to co-invest with us on those tactics and help us, think about new and different ways to drive awareness.
Mm-hmm. As an omnichannel retailer, do I have to be in store to sell online?
No.
You don't have to. Okay.
No.
And
so we do offer an extended assortment online, and that's a great way to, for us to think about product life cycle in the right way. So we use online as a testing ground for products in store, and it helps us drive a lot of insights. And that's another thing that I'd say is, as a category expert, in your category, you, the supplier, are going to be able to provide us with insights and learnings about your specific category that we as a retailer may not be able to get ourselves. So, make sure that you're bringing those to us and sourcing those.
Is the pathway to do that through your e-commerce team, Stefanie, or is it through the merchant team?
It's it's both. If you have a direct relationship with the merchant team, start there, and then they typically will filter the information down to my e-commerce team. But there are suppliers who have dedicated e-com account reps, and they're working directly with my team individually, and so that's totally fine too.
Okay, so Stefanie, we're almost at the end, but there's some two additional questions I have for you. So what do you see as next for the Walgreens e-commerce business? You've done a lot. There's a lot of value. There's a lot of service. Postmates. What's next?
Yeah, so we're continuing to look really rapidly at how we expand the new capabilities that we've recently rolled out. And how we build upon those and make them even better, and then how we work towards additional solutions to make it even safer and more convenient for our customers. So we are really working to modernize the shopping experience, be able to get things to customers in kind of more convenient, easier ways. So you can definitely expect to see much more coming from us in the very near future on some of these new capabilities that we rolled out, and expect to see enhancements upon those.
Well, that's great. So that's a really good segue to my last question. So with the future ahead and with all the work you're doing, so what does the audience need to know that you haven't really discussed yet? How can they, what do you want them to know about the future of Walgreens and the digital business? What is it that the audience should know, the supplier audience should know about your business moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's where we are open physically and digitally right now. It's not one or the other. We've seen really positive momentum in our digital sales over the past several weeks, and we expect to continue to maintain that momentum given what we expect to be some changes in customer behavior. And as I mentioned, it's given us kind of the opportunity to accelerate some of the initiatives behind our digital services. So, you could absolutely expect that we are going to continue to make enhancements digitally. We're working faster than ever to get things rolled out quickly and to test and pilot and learn and pivot. That will be in addition to the efforts that are taking place in store, and we're going to look at how we bring together digital and physical in very different ways for our customers going forward.
Well, Stefanie, that's really great, and it was really a pleasure to spend time with you today to discuss where you guys have been and where you're going, and to be here as part of the journey to educate the marketplace about the opportunities at Walgreens in the omnichannel world, but with today's conversation looking at the e-commerce digital opportunities at Walgreens. So I really do want to thank you for the opportunity today, and hopefully in the future we can reconnect and continue the conversation about your evolution and journey. So thank you, and appreciate your time.
Great, thank you.